If you like Mario, you've probably seen at least one Mario 64 speedrun. They're a lot of fun to watch, and the skill required to get good at them is fascinating to behold. 120 star, 70 star, 16 star, even 1 and 0 star are some of the most popular categories to run. But what if I told you there's an entire world of Mario 64 speedrunning that you've likely never seen before? Today, I'd like to introduce you to Super Mario 64 category extensions. These are the most obscure ways to speedrun Mario 64. Some of them make small alterations to a normal run, and others exist because it's just kind of funny. So let's explore this untapped world of Mario 64 speedruns. We'll start with a category extension that only slightly alters the rules. This run requires you to reach 16 stars, but you aren't required to do LBLJ or SBLJ. LBLJ is the lobby backwards long jump, in which you clip into this corner in the castle and perform an extremely complicated long jump in order to get to Bowser in the Dark World faster. The SBLJ is performed in the basement, where you backwards long jump on these stairs in order to clip into Dire Docks, or Bowser in the Fire Sea. Although strangely, SBLJ isn't used in 16-star runs to begin with, so I'm not sure why that's clarified on speedrun.com's site. The current world record is held by Finney, who completed a run of 15 minutes and 42 seconds. He was playing on the Wii Virtual Console, so it was a pretty obscure choice. I imagine a lot of people that are learning the 16-star route will run this category just to get into the groove of the general route. LBLJ and SBLJ are extremely difficult to pull off consistently, so I don't blame anyone for running this instead. So you just saw a normal-ish run, but on the other side of the spectrum, speedrun categories can get extremely bizarre. This is probably the most prestigious record anyone could ever obtain in gaming, reading all the signs as fast as possible. You don't have to beat the game, you literally just read all the signs and get stars to unlock the levels that have them. This was a big meme speedrun somewhat recently. A lot of people have actually attempted this, and I'm not gonna lie, it kinda looks fun to run. The current record holder is Shans with a time of 25 minutes and 30 seconds. His caption of "still after getting a world record really embodies the mindset of a speedrunner, or just perfectionist in general. But moving back to more traditional runs, there's way more than 120, 70, 16, 1, and 0 star. This one that you're watching now is a 15-star run, where the objective is to get 1 star in every main course. Although what did catch me off guard is that all the Bowser levels don't require red coin stars. I'm so accustomed to getting them myself that it was weird seeing them get ignored entirely. Besides that, the routing is the same, but it's interesting getting a small taste of every level in a short amount of time. This record is held by Kano with a time of 17 minutes and 8 seconds. This is another simple speedrun. You just collect 30 stars. Even the time stops at the 30th star. Mips Clip and SBLJ aren't allowed, which, I mean, duh, why would you really do those tricks anyway? The strats themselves are basically the same as a normal run. It's just like cutting it in half. This record is held by Gamiru with a time of 19 minutes and 28 seconds. Next, we have a 31-star speedrun. Like last time, just beat the game as fast as possible. Mips Clip and SBLJ are also banned. The run is fairly normal. You get the first 30 stars and then 31 specifically so you can unlock Bowser in the Fire Sea. But regular BLJs are okay, so you can use those to bypass the 50 and 70-star door. This is another speedrun that's good for getting used to speedrunning the game. The world record for this one is held by Zaya with a time of 24 minutes and 40 seconds. He ran this on the Japanese N64. Interestingly enough, this record has been held for 5 years, so nobody really runs this one anymore. Now with a 45-star run, you have to collect 3 stars from each of the 15 main stages and then beat the game. So it's the same idea as the 15-star category, but with more stars. The world record is held by Ouija with a time of 35 minutes and 3 seconds. He completed this on a Japanese N64 and will likely hold the record for a while. A lot of the strats are the same from normal speedruns. It's almost like watching an abridged 16, 70, and 120-star run all at once. It's also interesting seeing Big Boo Haunt red coins played, since that's almost always paired with 100 coins. The Bunny and Toad stars are also not grabbed. Again, it just felt like my brain was tripping up seeing these strange differences. 50-star runs are very similar to 70 stars, in which you can't Mips Clip, LBLJ, or SBLJ. You're basically just skipping Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow Ride stars. The record is held by Dark Dog 47 with 35 minutes and 51 seconds. This is another category that's great for beginner speedruns, because Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow Ride are some of the hardest stages to get really good at running. This is the same idea, but you have to collect every star while wearing a cap. You're allowed to collect stars without the cap, but only if you go back and get it again with a cap. This is honestly a really cool idea. It makes you wonder what stars you can even go for with the cap on, since they aren't easily accessible all the time. The routing is very different as well, so it's pretty refreshing to watch if you've seen a lot of normal speedruns before. The record for this category is held by ToastRider91 with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 31 seconds. The footage you're seeing is from Alaris because ToastRider's video clip isn't available to watch. You get the main idea though. Alaris' run is 3rd place, so it's still pretty solid. With 90 stars, you just have to collect everything except the 100 coin stars and the 15 castle secrets. This is another interesting idea, because it's basically bypassing all the longest stars in the game, but at the same time, you can't do easy stuff like Peach's secret slide in the aquarium. According to the record holder, Alf64 with a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 42 seconds, says the run can still be improved quite a bit. So Nonstop is one of my favorite ways to play Mario 64. Basically, you don't get booted out of levels after collecting a star. Some basic Game Shark codes are implemented to make this possible. This not only makes the game much faster, but it changes the routing quite a bit since you can knock out lots of stars in one go. There's 3 runs in this category, which are 16, 70, and 120 stars. The 16 record is held by Triforce TK, who beat the game in a whopping 10 minutes and 42 seconds. That's almost 1 star every 30 seconds, which is just mind-boggling to me. There's some differences in the routing, mostly starting and shifting Sandland, or SSL. Instead of doing the ridiculous pillarless clip, you actually stand on all the pillars since you already need to hit Klepto. So you get stars 1 and 2 before entering the pyramid, and then stars 3 and 6 following that. And yes, you purposefully take a death after getting these 4 stars. Reason being is that exiting the course with pausing would take Mario back to the main room in the castle, and it's simply faster for Mario to get booted out of SSL and make his way to Hazy Maze Cave, or HMC. HMC is also very different since so many of the stars are just sitting out in the open. A lot of the strategies are similar, they're just completed in a different order. Then in Lethal Lava Land, you hop right into the volcano and grab stars 5 and 6. Dire Docs makes one subtle change that you don't see coming. He purposefully gets the red damage from swimming in the water, grabs the star with a backflip to land on top of Bowser's sub, then ground pounds to take full damage. The optimization for such an obscure category is so cool to see. The record for 70 star is held by D-Whatever with a time of 28 minutes and 16 seconds. That is an average of 2 to 3 stars a minute. That should tell you just how much time is wasted when Mario is normally just booted out of the level. The stars you collect are fairly similar, but the routing is tweaked to more easily grab them back to back. The 100 coin route in Cool Cool Mountain is really interesting because you finish getting the hundreds with this big arrow. It works out pretty well too, since you need to get star 6 in the same area anyway. Wet Dry World has a really cool combination of stars. After getting all the secrets, he starts the elevator lift, grabs star 3, then immediately heads back to make the lift on time. That's honestly a pretty smart idea. TikTok Clock also has some really cool routing. I especially like seeing triple jumping off this question mark block, followed with a couple wall jumps and a dive to nab star 4 and instantly head back down for more stars. Lastly is the 120 star run, in which the world record is also held by D-Whatever, and his time is 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 19 seconds. The 100 coin route in Bob-omb Battlefield is very different in Nonstop because it's partially combined with Koopa the Quick. Yup, that's right, Koopa the Quick is so slow that you can nab half the coins before he even gets to the top. Oh, and on the way, you casually grab stars 3 and 5, so no big deal. In Cool Cool Mountain, when racing the penguin, you actually take a shortcut to save a little time since you don't have to get as many coins on the slide. I honestly had no idea you could take any form of a shortcut without the penguin thinking you're cheating, so that's pretty cool to see. Little known fact about the penguin race is that you can cheat as long as you're in the air for less than 2 seconds. Wet Dry World is another interesting route, considering you'll BLJ after getting the star in the cage. Again, I had no idea you could do this either. Hazy Maze Cave 100 coins is still stupidly hard. A really neat change is doing the BLJ while also grabbing the star at the same time. Now, I'm excited to talk about this next category because yours truly accidentally created it. Yep, March 13th of 2018, I uploaded a video called Mario 64 1000 Coin Challenge, which was a stream highlight where I tried to collect 1000 coins as fast as possible. I ended up challenging Simple Flips as a joke to beat my time, but of course he took it to heart and demolished me. But that doesn't matter. What matters is people now legitimately run this, and that's still funny to me to this day. The world record holder is ToastRider91 with a time of 13 minutes and 28 seconds. What I love about this category is just how not serious it is. Stars aren't important since you start in the post game, and it's really fast moving for that reason. The route consists of you going into a level, nabbing a ton of coins, then you leave and go to another stage. It's like watching a Nonstop run, but even faster. And on top of that, there's another category where you just need 500 unique coins, but you can't use the main stages. This is a really cool spin-off of the 1000 coin idea, especially since you wouldn't normally go to non-main stages to grab a lot of coins. The record holder for this one is Turgi with 11 minutes and 44 seconds. I'm gonna have to try speedrunning this one myself. It looks like a lot of fun and really not that difficult to learn. This next speedrun is simply getting all the red coin stars, which you might think would be very similar to a normal speedrun, but not exactly. Some of the routes are completely different because lots of levels pair 100 coins with reds, but when you just go for the reds, the movement isn't really the same. Unfortunately, a couple of normal stars are required to get, like plundering the sunken ship for Jolly Roger Bay. Otherwise, you couldn't get all the red coins without tasking the game. Essentially, the first part of the run is different, and the second half is basically the same red coin routes. The world record is held by Turgi with a time of 33 minutes and 28 seconds. Continuing with coin categories, this one just has you grabbing all the blue coins. I won't lie, this run seems a bit redundant considering you almost always get blue coins regardless, but there's a few places here and there where you normally wouldn't get them, such as with the ones in Cool Cool Mountain. But regardless, the record is held by Alf64 with a time of 33 minutes and 39 seconds. And we're not done with coins. This one is about getting all of the coins. Although admittedly, this title is a bit deceiving because you technically don't collect them all. You don't have to get any in the Bowser or Cap stages, which I find to be a little strange. But for the main levels, you need to grab them all before collecting a star that boots you out of the level, just to ensure the total count saves. You don't have to get any of the impossible coins either, obviously, because yes, a couple of those do actually exist. The route itself is extremely bizarre, not just because you get coins from every enemy, but the order of going into stages. You start by entering Bowser in the Dark World and then go to Lethal Lava Land. That's really perplexing to me, and I'm not sure why it's set up that way. I can only assume that it's because the bully coins are really inconsistent. A lot of the times their coins will fly back into the lava, making them unobtainable. So they probably want to get them out of the way first, but honestly, I don't really know. The record is taken by Sackstyle with a time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 18 seconds. I gotta be honest though, I would not want to speedrun this. I did a challenge video on this idea a few years ago, and it was pretty rough, so I have a lot of respect for those that actually speedrun this category. Tiny Huge Island has 191 coins for crying out loud, some of them coming from tiny Goombas, and you can very easily lose their coins if they fall off the stage or bump into you by accident. And there's a coin in Snowman's Land where you just jump at a ceiling and it's hidden behind it. And can I just show you how scary these coins are in Rainbow Ride? The absolute balls on this man. That's right, the goal is to run the game while also collecting 96 unique lives, since you've already got some to begin with. This is such a weird run to watch. It's technically just the 16-star route, but you go out of your way to get 1-ups. At the beginning, you get 6 1-ups from butterflies, climbing a tree, and going up to the castle. Now this category in particular isn't super optimized. I imagine the time could get lower than the current world record, but not enough people have attempted it to get to that point. The world record currently is by ToastRider91 with a time of 33 minutes and 22 seconds. However, his video is not available to watch, so I'm just showing you second place. MST, or Medallions, Stones, and Trials. For this one, the goal is to collect all 100 coin stars, all the Bowser Red coins, and defeat all the mini-bosses. This combination leads to some interesting predicaments, such as getting 100 coins in Bob-omb Battlefield without the cannon. Yeah, seriously, half the coins are floating high in the air and require tricky movement to grab well. Besides that though, everything else is fairly normal. The record is held by Toast Rider 91 again with a time of 43 minutes and 55 seconds. Blindfolded runs are pretty incredible, and with Mario 64, there's multiple different categories. There's even a 1-star run by Bubzia. He beat the game in 25 minutes and 55 seconds. And man, what a run it was. He successfully did an LBLJ without looking, then followed it up with an even harder SBLJ. SBLJs are difficult to do even once when you can see, so doing it blindfolded is a crazy accomplishment. He struggled doing normal BLJs to get to Bowser in the sky, but he still did them and completed a run. Then there's a 16-star run. This world record is held by Nobori56 with a time of 23 minutes and 48 seconds. Yep, you heard that right. His time is very similar to an average 16-star run. And on top of that, Cannonless was actually possible. He used the sounds of the piranha plant to figure out where he was and line himself up, and with that, he was able to get a star that requires very precise movement to grab. Every star is honestly an impressive feat. The amount of audio cues and movement memorization that has to be done is just crazy. I couldn't even do that normally. What a mad lad. The Bowser in the Sky strats are absolutely insane too. He wall jumps off this teeny tiny pole successfully, and it's actually pretty fast. I'd almost debate if it could be used for normal runs if the setup didn't take so long. The rest of the categories are also dominated by Nobori56. He has first place in 31, 50, and 70 star. I'm not going to go into details about all these runs because they use fairly similar strategies, but again, I recommend checking them out in the description. The Penguin race in 50 and 70 star is pretty hilarious. He manages to long jump all the way to the bottom, survive, and then the penguin's like, yeah, that's fair, here's your star. Boiling it down, speedrunning a game like this blindfolded requires audio cues, lots of memorization, and ledge grabbing. Like, there's a ton of ledge grabbing to help visualize and line up where Mario is. And strangely, I can relate to doing stuff like this thanks to some of my own Mario 64 challenges over the years. This is another category where people run 16, 70, and 120 stars. The only main difference is the camera is always zoomed in on Mario, so it's more disorienting to play. But to be honest, the strats are basically the same throughout all the runs, so there's not much to comment on aside from a few route changes here and there. These are the record holders for each run, by the way. They're pretty respectable times, and the runs are still entertaining to watch. I do have to point out that Cannonless in Mario Cam is pretty hype. I never thought I'd see that done. The CCC standing for no coins, no caps, and no cannons. You may think this run would be similar to a normal 70 star, and in some ways it is, but in others it's very different. Like as an example, you get the Cannonless star from the other side because of the coins on the bridge. I didn't even know you could grab it on the other side. A lot of the new routing follows the same paths, but they're very carefully avoiding coin boxes and rows of coins along the way. Some more common and quick stars have to be skipped as well. This record is held by Gold Rush with a time of 53 minutes and 27 seconds. Similar to the signs, you have to beat the game and also break all the boxes with the exclamation point symbol. At first, the run starts with an LBLJ to get into the basement, as well as some stars in Lethal Lava Land. But after that, you head into Metal Cap and the box breaking truly begins. This run kinda cracks me up. There are so many boxes that I've never hit in my entire life, but for the first time, they're getting the spotlight. The record is held by Dark47 with a time of 38 minutes and 54 seconds. This entire run is so underrated. The routing is really weird and strangely fascinating to watch at the same time. Before talking about the All Cannons run, Zine64's YouTube video has the greatest description I've ever seen. Alt account for useless bad run. Will 22 soon and put everyone in the coffin. Damn, this guy is not around. He will keep his record whether you like it or not. The goal, as you'd expect, is to beat the game while opening all 11 cannons. The run itself, though, is fairly typical, besides having to go out of your way to open some cannons here and there. Zine64's time is 23 minutes and 19 seconds, but don't even bother trying to beat this one because he's putting everyone in the coffin. Now we're at the point where I have to debate of even calling these speedruns, since they're more or less just practicing hard tricks. The goal here is to simply complete Cannonless 10 times as fast as possible. Nothing more, nothing less. The World Rally is taken by Ouija with a time of 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. And he wasn't even setting up or anything, just casually running off the bridge the OG way. I'm not sure how anyone manages to get consistent with that, but good job to you. This speedrun is even more nuts. You have to complete 10 SBLJs and bypass Dire Docks. This record is held from Nabori56, who pulled this off in 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Like I said earlier, just doing one of these is like a lifetime goal of mine, and here's Nabori casually knocking out 10 of them. That is just crazy. These last two speedruns aren't on the official leaderboards, but they're still worthy of covering. This one being an all Goombas run, where you just have to kill every Goomba. This is done with a 120-star save file, which is kind of nice since this is such a meme category to begin with. The run ends with taking out Bowser, but I feel like it should just end with the last Goomba to keep with the spirit. All Goombas is surprisingly a really fun run to watch. It's very fast-paced and even a little upsetting watching big Goombas only get jumped on and not ground pounded. Don't worry, I'll get over it. It's just gonna take a while. But this last one was created by my good friend Swinkybox, and that's Penguin%. The goal for this one is easy. Drop the baby penguin off the ledge as fast as you can. The run I'm showing you takes this idea to the extreme by incorporating an LBLJ into Cool Mountain and then ledge grabbing to drop the baby penguin as fast as possible. It's honestly absurd how well optimized this run is. I absolutely love it for that. All of these different speedruns really goes to show what makes games so special. If you're creative, there's so many different ways to play and enjoy a game. Now, I wanted to leave you guys with a speedrun that you can do, because a lot of these showcase may seem a little intimidating. But don't worry, I've come up with a brand new meme run for everybody to try, regardless of your skill level. I call it GameOver%. The goal is simple. Get a game over as fast as possible. You start on a fresh save file and have to get rid of all your lives in any conceivable way. I was able to get a time of 3 minutes and 40 seconds by jumping off of these trees over and over again. That's my record after 30 minutes of attempts, so I imagine it can be beat with different strategies or just better movement. Let me know what times you get. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's video and learned something new. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep on running.